stuck it. Here, when you see that a bunch will give to you, to be someone that's in need, someone who's in need, is Laisame, you shouldn't, you shouldn't harden your heart, be receptive, and don't close your hand, but not saying keep your life. So you should respond and help them. That's one of the Targum mitzvahs. Also, there's a Elisha said, one of the negative commandments, which was mentioned earlier in Eschanan. In Eschanan, it says, you shouldn't add, you shouldn't detract from the mitzvah. Naturally, you have to give, you have to observe it in the kind of mitzvah exactly where it was given. That's in Parshas Eschanan, 2 centuries ago. Here in Parshas Reeh, it says, mitzvah zois, this mitzvah, you shouldn't add or detract from it. Also, why is it repeated again here in this parsha? Repeated, was mentioned in Parshas Eschanan. Just want to quickly mention something very interesting. We have some very wonderful young men that come here to daven by us, and it's our pleasure to always have for them something that deserve a treat. Some donuts. The donuts come from Williamsburg via Monroe, and there's two gentlemen. Mashgiachim Shoftim supervise the slaughtering plant here by us in our neighborhood in Bethel White Lake, and the donuts arrived just about the time that these gentlemen were leaving for work. I called him on his cell phone, and he said that he was already on the way, but he'll try to get hold of somebody who's still in Monroe. He called me back and said, he got hold of somebody, and they'll be here. It will be here in White Lake this morning. Then he called me up when he was leaving work today, that when he took the time to help us out, that chesed, that kindness, to get the donuts here for our wonderful young gentleman here, just at that moment, he said he had begun skidding. The road was wet and slippery, and he lost control of the car. And then, as he was talking to me with his blue boots or blue something, he wasn't distracted by holding the phone. Just at that moment, he said, when he was arranging to get somebody else to do that kindness, his car straightened out without a scratch and was on his way. So he said, should I or shouldn't I do a kindness? There's no question about it. You should always do that to do a mitzvah. So why is it mentioned twice? Once in Eschanan, and again here in Reeh. The guy is like this here, that in Eschanan, it's written in the plural tense, like say sifu, like sibru. That refers to if someone wants to come along and say, with the Almighty, understand on Sinai, He gave us 613 commandments. On the conjecture, I'll make 614 commandments. So that's 614 mitzvah. Something He's going to dream of, something that should be a mitzvah. Sounds good and everything. And He's going to say there should be 614. That He transgressed a commandment by people that He shouldn't add. Also, we'll say there's not 613, 612. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are outdated, old-fashioned. They're not for today's day and age. It's not for the modern society, modern day world. So he transgressed. He was over. Unless he was by wiping out completely a commandment, or by adding something that was never was never given on Sinai. Here, in Reeh, in the singular tense, it's referring to a different case. If someone will say, "Oh, I love the mitzvah of Esrik, I love it so much that I'm going to take 2 esrogim in my hand, or 2 lulav in my hand, and to be Mekayim, fulfill the mitzvah of the Arba Minim, of the 4 species." So, by doing that, by taking 2 lulovim in the hand, so he's over on what's written here in Reeh, loy soisiv. You shouldn't add to the mitzvah. It could also be this. I have to look further. Not only did he transgress the commandment, he was over on loy soisiv. They shouldn't add. It also could be that he didn't fulfill the commandment altogether. Being that he's holding 2 lulavim in his hand, he's mavatul. He did away with a mitzvah because he's supposed to hold only 1. This I'm not so sure yet. This I have to look further. But he certainly was over. Sick places, you shouldn't. You shouldn't close your hand. So the Great says like this: that when someone holds their hand open, so each finger has a different size. There's 2 on the right and on the left, they're shorter, and the middle, both are just about equal. That's when your hand is open. You have your hand open. When you close your hand, they're all equal. Now, every person, every individual who needs help doesn't need equal amount of help. The Bay Maksera Shiyah Salai. If someone is, in order to fulfill the commandment of giving tzedakah, giving charity, if you're in a position to fulfill it to that degree, so just by saying, "I'll give him a tzedakah, I gave him a head what to eat," that you did something very noble. He shouldn't starve. But if someone is accustomed to living in a higher standard of living, a more luxurious sort of life, the Talmud says, "Afilu sus, they're kaivalov." He's accustomed not to have to always look for somebody to give him a ride, get here there. He's accustomed always to having a horse, his own horse, to ride on. So if you're in a position, and because he was poverty stricken, he lost everything he had. So if you're in a position to help him to to have his own horse again, he shouldn't feel so deprived. That's human nature. Human nature is such that he is accustomed to one standard of living, and he's denied. It's just like someone who doesn't have a teeth, and where he's accustomed to living. This is how you have to help him. So you don't close your hand and say everyone is equal. What are you doing to somebody else? Why are you? So you had a horse, so therefore, that's part of the commandment is also that to help him to live, to take away that anguish that he's suffering from being someone who's suffering poverty. Hanani ben Akashi Oimer, Rotzah Kodesh Baruch Hu Zakesh Es Yisrael, Tzidkach Hivlan Torah Mitzvahs, Shenema, Adonai Chol Yizman Tzidkach Yaakov Tzidkach Yadi.